Hello everyone, welcome to this yoga class, and we're going to start the class on our backs here on the mat. So just making your way there in your own time. Coming all the way down. You can grab a pillow maybe or a block if you like for your head or your hips. Otherwise, just moving into the center of the mat. And we'll allow the spine to roll down here. You can keep the knees bent to begin. Just allow the whole spine to come down onto the mat here. It might be nice to keep the knees bent, or else you can let the legs go long if that feels better. Put your hands face down by your sides here. So if you feel like you need to receive some energy today, maybe you're a bit tired, just a bit down on yourself. Maybe you want to place the palms open to receive something here. If you feel the opposite way, like things are a bit busy right now, things are hectic, your mind is a bit scattered, maybe place the palms facing down to ground down into the mat here. If the eyes aren't already, just let them close down now. Just making sure that your hips and your lower back are pressed into the mat here. And also your shoulders are moving away from the ears here. Just want to feel this connection. Your feet on the mat. Back of your head connected to the mat. And your whole spine here is connected all the way down. We'll just take a few moments here to consciously become aware of our breath right now. Breathe here through our nose. So inhaling through the nose will fill the belly with air here. Exhale, let the belly come towards you. Inhale, filling the belly all the way up here. Exhale, soft from the belly here. Might help you if you want to count to 3 or 4 breaths here. For the inhale and the exhale. Just take a moment to leave all that you were doing before this practice, whether it was work or college or you're with people, maybe you were somewhere. Just letting go of attachment to all of that now. And allowing yourself just to fall into the next cycle of breath here. We're taking our energy into the present moment, mentally, spiritually, and physically here. As you're detaching from those people and places, just notice now the quality of your breath here. Notice if your breath is shallow or long. Maybe noticing any sensations in the body here. So maybe some tension in the body in some places as you breathe here. Or maybe some openings are happening here. See if you can soften down your forehead. Relax the back of your neck here. Relax your ears. Relax your shoulders and your collarbones here. Really allow the body to become a bit more heavy here. Allow it to sink a little bit more into the mat as you breathe here for another few breaths. I want to keep this slow momentum for the entire class here. This is a slow flow movement class. So we'll be staying a bit longer in each pose, using our breath to have a deeper opening in the body and the mind. Ready now, you may place your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart space here. And just take a moment to think of an intention for today's practice. So maybe someone comes to mind, or maybe a thought or a word for you or someone else. So just breathing in your intention when your word comes to mind. Feeling this connection to the body as well with the hands, this connection to self. As you breathe in your intention here. Just let the hands come back down by the side then. Take our final few breaths here in this space. Just knowing if you get distracted by thoughts, you can always come back to this breath. It's always there. Just begin a little bit of movement here. So you can keep the eyes closed if you wish, or maybe opening the eyes here, just becoming aware of your surroundings again. We're just going to sway the legs from side to side here. So inhale, let the legs drop to one side. Exhale, come back through center. And inhale, drop into the other side here. Exhale through center. Try to keep this nice and slow. Moving with your breath here. Noticing the difference on each side here. Also massaging the lower back and the hip muscles here. Maybe deepening your breath here. Just take one more on each side here. Back to center here. We're going to lift up our hands here above us. We're also going to lift up our feet. So just let the feet come up here, let the knees bend. And we'll just take some circles here with the wrist and also the ankle here. So just going one way for the time being, noticing any little cracks or sensations here. Still breathing. Then we'll move the other way now. So reversing your circle here, noticing that it may be easier to go one way than the other. Just coming back to center now. We'll let the right leg come down. And we let that leg go long now. And we're going to squeeze in our left knee towards us. So clasping the hands around that knee. Keeping the feet flexed here. On an inhale, begin to draw that knee towards us. And on an exhale, gently just letting it come back to center. Inhale, hugging it closely now. Exhale, back to center. This time, inhale, hugging it in. And just begin to take little circles here into the hip, into the lower back here. Just really gentle little rocks here. Noticing all those sensations, all that tension there. Going the other way with your circle now. Just massaging that hip joint here. Then come back to center and we're just going to hug that knee in, moving it out towards our left armpit now. Squeezing that knee. And we're just going to hold here for about a minute here. So just let the eyes close and just begin to breathe into that hip space here. Noticing any tightness, any tension here. See if you can just send your breath down into that hip space as well to help. Try to relax your right leg completely here. Just focusing on this left hip here. Take another few breaths here, maybe going a bit deeper now. Moving that knee a bit closer, maybe, or maybe staying exactly where you are. Now we're going to take that right hand to the outside of the left knee. Begin to draw that knee across the body here, coming into our twist, allowing the left arm to go long behind you and turning your gaze over to the left side here. You can keep your right hand on the knee or maybe letting that hand go now completely out to our T shape here with the arms. Just breathing across the left side of the body here. Breathing across the chest, heart space. Take another few breaths here, making sure that the shoulders are pressing down into the mat. We're not lifting off here. We're getting that nice twist all along our spine here. Your next breath will come back through center now. Let that left knee come all the way in. Let that left leg go down. And we'll swap sides now. So we're going to take our right knee in towards our chest here, taking the hands outside, flexing both feet to begin. And on your inhale, just begin to draw that right knee closer up towards your armpit. Exhale, releasing gently. Inhale, squeezing in. Exhale, softening. Your next inhale, you're going to squeeze that knee in. Just begin to take little circles here into that right hip space. Gently massaging the lower back and the hip joint here. Just taking these circles as slowly as you can here, really feeling into all the sensations. And moving the other way with your circle now. Your next inhale, just squeezing that knee in now, maybe a bit deeper. We're going to hold here for about a minute. Just noticing maybe any emotions that arise here from the hip space, from any space here in the body. Trying to stay with your breath, maybe counting the breath again if that helps. Stay focused here. After a few breaths, you may notice that opening to go a bit deeper. So just squeezing in for your last few breaths here. We'll take that left hand to the outside of that knee, this time drawing the right knee across the body. Let the right arm go long behind you, turning your gaze to the right side, maybe letting go of the left hand as well. Keeping the eyes closed if you can. Just breathing down on the right side of the body here. Feeling that opening, the right side of the chest here. Take your last few breaths here. Maybe going a bit deeper in your twists now. Maybe staying where you are. Exhale, we'll slowly come back through center, bringing that right leg nice and long as well now. Bring the hands back in by your side and just take a full inhale here. And an audible exhale, open the mouth. We're going to move now into Banana Asana. So we're going to take our hands up overhead. We're going to take our feet all the way over to the right side. So just walking your heels over here and then taking your left ankle on top of the right one. With the hands overhead, you're going to take hold of the left wrist with your right hand and begin to pull that left wrist overhead, maybe turning your gaze now to the right side here. Just feeling this deep stretch all along the left side of the body. You can imagine that the breath is moving from the left hand all the way down to the left ankle here. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. So just allowing the eyes to close here. Allowing the body to settle here. To breathe all down the left side of the body. Finding this opening, this space here. Just notice here if your mind has become distracted. Pause. See if you can come back to this now moment, to the next inhale breath. Just taking another 5 breaths here. Maybe going a bit deeper. Maybe staying where you are. On your next breath, we'll slowly come back to center, bringing the arms back, walking the feet back. Bring the hands down by your side. We'll just take 2 breaths here, 2 audible breaths. So take a full inhale here through the nose, fill the belly up. An audible exhale here. Take one more breath like that. Inhale as much air as you can. Open your mouth for the exhale. Let's bring our hands up again. We're going to this time walk them over to the left side here. And we're going to walk our feet over to the left side as well. This time taking hold of the right wrist with the left hand, pulling that arm up overhead, turning your gaze to the left side and taking your right ankle on top of the left. Just finding your position here, making sure that both hips are on the mat here. And just noticing the difference with each side in the body. You may feel more resistance on one side. Once again, just settling into the breath here. Imagining the breath moving down from the right hand all the way to the right ankle here. creating this opening on the right side of the body. Stay here for another 5 breaths or so, maybe going a bit deeper now. Your next breath will slowly begin to unravel here. So bring those feet back to center. Bring the hands back down by your side. Just take a moment here maybe to rock the hips side to side here as you inhale and exhale. Then we'll bring those knees in towards our chest here. Bring the hands behind the knees here and just take a little rock from side to side, maybe making little circles here. Eventually we'll begin to rock the spine up and down a few times, eventually coming up to a seated position here, and we'll meet in easy pose. Just taking your time to get here. If you'd like to sit up on a block or a pillow, feel free here as well. Otherwise, we're just going to move into some neck stretches here. So we're going to take our right ear towards our right shoulder here. Just allow that shoulder to relax, come all the way down. And then we're going to take our right hand up and over here, placing that hand on our left ear. Just begin to guide that right shoulder down closer. Sorry, the right ear closer to the right shoulder. You can keep this left hand here, or maybe you want to take the hand out to the side, flex the fingers towards you. Or maybe you want to take the fingers a little bit behind you here, or out to the side for a deeper stretch. You could also place your hand up on a block here, whatever feels best. Just take a moment to close down the eyes here and just breathe into this deep neck stretch here. Breathing down the side of the left side of the neck here, finding that opening here. Maybe going a bit deeper after a few breaths here, allowing that ear to come closer down to the right shoulder. Just stay here for about another minute. Just try to stay with the breath, breathing into the belly on the inhale. And on the exhale, let the belly soften. Your last few breaths, maybe staying where you are, maybe going a little bit deeper now. Your final 3 breaths here. Slowly come back up through center, release that hand down by the side. Just take a moment here to take a full inhale through the nose and a full exhale through the nose. We'll take this on the other side now. So bring your left ear towards your left shoulder this time, allowing it to fall down naturally. And then taking that left arm up and over, placing that hand onto the right ear. Maybe keeping the hand here with the fingers flexed towards you, maybe bringing it out to the side onto a block or onto fingertips here, or maybe keeping it on the knee. Whatever feels best for you here. Just finding that opening on the right side of the neck here. Noticing the difference in each side. Trying not to force anything here. We don't want to be too heavy with that hand. Just a gentle guide here. Gently applying a little bit of pressure here. And we'll just take another 5 breaths or so here. I'm just trying to stay with the breath. Finding that opening here. With your next breath, slowly releasing that left hand now, coming back to center. Bring that hand down by the side. Take a full inhale here through the nose. And a full exhale through the nose. Let's take our hands up nice and wide here. Inhaling, reaching up, spread the fingertips nice and wide here. Looking up maybe. And exhale, let's come into cactus arms here, bending the elbows, squeezing the shoulder blades here behind the body. Pausing here on your exhale. Let's inhale, reaching up one more time. Inhale, looking up. And exhale, squeezing open here with the shoulders. Pausing here, and let's bring our hands now to the back of our body. So dropping the hands down long behind you. We're going to interlace the fingers here behind the back. Inhale, you're going to squeeze back with the hands. Let the arms come straight here. Reach your chest forward, arching your spine, lifting your head here. Take 2 breaths here. Really squeezing your shoulder blades together here. Then gently release those hands now. We're going to bring them in front of us here. Interlace again. This time we're going to swap the interlace around. Let your fingers, you let the palms of your hands face away from you. And we're going to push the air away from us and drop our head here, beginning to round the spine. And drop your head down towards your chest here. Really feeling this opening on the upper back here, in the middle back, the shoulders. Just take 2 full breaths here. Slowly come all the way back up. Release the hands back overhead once again. Spread the fingertips nice and wide here. And we'll exhale down into cactus. Pausing here. Then just let the hands come all the way back down onto each knee. Maybe taking a couple of shoulder rolls here just to loosen out the shoulders. Maybe going the other way now. And we'll come around into our all fours position when you're ready. So just making your way there in your own time. You just want to make sure in this position that you're spreading your fingertips as wide as they can go. You're pressing down into each fingertip here. You want to make sure that your hip and your knee are in the same position. They're in one straight line. And just have a look at your feet behind you. You want to make sure they're hip distance apart. And again, you want to make sure your shoulder and your wrist are in one straight line as well. Also, just make sure here that you're not collapsing into the spine. You want a nice straight spine. So just bringing that belly button up into the spine here. Just take a moment to find this position. Let the neck become long here. We're going to move to cat-cow here. So we're going to drop the belly down, tilt the tailbone up to the sky, lift your chest, breathing in here. And on your exhale, begin to tuck the chin, drop the head down, arching your spine here. Push the floor away from you. Really press into the feet here, at the top of the feet here on the mat. As you inhale, we're going to drop the belly, arch the spine here, lifting the chest, lifting the head. Exhale, rounding here. We're going to round the spine, push the floor away, drop the head, feeling this opening in the shoulders here. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round here. On your next inhale, this time I'd like to invite you to be a bit more free with your cat and cow. So if you'd like to invite some movement as you inhale, maybe coming forward, maybe rolling the hips here. And as you exhale, rounding back, maybe coming back to the heels. Just having a bit of free movement here. Just allowing the body do what it needs to do. Just for a couple of breaths. And we'll come back to center here. We're going to step back with our right foot this time. Just making sure you have enough space to step back. You might need to walk forward slightly. We're just going to rock on that right foot here a few times. Just stretching into the calf muscle here, into our heel, the back of the foot here. Staying with the breath. Maybe even taking a few little circles here with that ankle. Moving the foot a little bit here. Might also like to just pause here, get a deeper stretch into the back of that calf here as well. It can be quite nice. And then we're going to swivel that foot so that the sole of the foot can come down, toes facing away from you here. And you're also going to swivel that knee, the left knee, and let the left foot come back behind you. You're going to press into your left hand here, making sure you have some support. Press into that right foot, and we're going to begin to lift our right hand up here. So just have a look at your position for a moment. You might need to walk that right foot back slightly. Make sure that it's in line with this left knee. And just then reach up your right hand here, pushing your hip forward slightly. Reaching that hand up, making sure you're not going too much back. You want to be in a straight position here. And pressing into that left hand as well, but not dumping our weight here. We want to be nice and strong here. Looking up at that right hand. And then just begin to make some circles here with that right hand. So let your eyes follow your right hand here. So you make these circles. Opening the shoulders here. Still breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. After a few circles, maybe just pausing now with that right arm overhead. Maybe looking up at that right hand, or maybe just looking out. And see if you can let that right head drop down a little bit lower towards the earth here. Just take 2 or 3 breaths here now. And exhale, slowly reaching that hand back up once more, spreading the fingertips. And then exhale, bring that right hand down. We're going to swivel that left knee back into center and bring that right foot back around. Let the right knee come in. And we're going to sit back now into our child's pose. Let the hips come down. Let the arms come back beside you. Let the forehead come down. And just take 3 breaths here, full breaths here. When you're ready, slowly lifting up again. We'll come back to our all four position. Take a moment to find that position for you. And then we're going to take our left foot back this time and begin just to rock into that left ankle, into the calf muscle here. Noticing maybe any clicks here, any tension here. Maybe taking little circles now into the ankle. Then we're going to swivel that right knee out to the side off our mat as we place down our left foot directly onto the mat. The whole sole is down. You might need to bring that right knee back slightly a bit more. And you may also need to walk back the left foot, making sure that your right hand is connected to the mat, full grip here. We're going to just begin to lift our left arm up here, getting a nice opening. Slightly push your hips forward here. Make a nice straight line with your left arm up here. And then just begin to make some circles here with that left arm all the way around. Maybe follow your left hand with your eyes here as you breathe here. Getting a nice opening of the shoulders here. Then this time, maybe just allow that left arm come up overhead here. Let it hang overhead. Allow your head to become a little bit more heavy, coming down towards the ground. Just pausing here for 3 breaths. Trying not to dump your weight on the right hand. Try to keep up nice and strong in the upper body. Slowly begin to stretch that left arm back up to the ceiling. Spread the fingertips one last time. And then exhale, bring that hand all the way back down. Swivel the right knee in and bring that left knee in. And this time as our rebound position, we're going to come into our puppy pose. So maybe walking the knees slightly back so you have enough space in front of you. Keeping the hips over the knees here. We'll begin to take our hands out nice and wide. You could also invite your pillow or your block into this pose as well, or restorative puppy. And just begin to walk those hands little by little. Let the chest come down, arching your spine here. Eventually dropping your forehead down, maybe on your block or your pillow, or maybe just directly onto the mat here. Just allow this heart opener here. Open your chest to allow some breath in here. Allow yourself to melt here a little bit more. Stay here for about a minute and a half now. Just try to surrender to this moment if you can. You may have become distracted by thoughts, and that's okay. See if you can just come back to this moment. The next inhale. Just let the thoughts go by without attaching any meaning to them. Still breathing here, nice and deep breaths. Just take another 3 to 5 breaths here. Really allowing yourself to melt a bit deeper now. Let those shoulders open a bit more. When you're ready, we'll begin to lift up. So pressing into the hands, slowly lifting the chest all the way back up to all fours. And this time we're just going to come all the way up to a seated position here, coming onto your bum. And just swivel the legs around now. And we're going to make a nice diamond shape with our feet here. So let the soles of the feet connect. You can take your pillow or your block now on top here, as we're going to come into a deep fold. Just to counteract that arch, we're going to round now the upper body. So you might want to begin by placing your fingertips behind you and just lengthening the spine here, taking a full inhale. And then on the exhale, just begin to walk those fingertips forward as you bring the chest down. Try to keep the spine as straight as you can for as long as you can. Noticing when you begin to round, see if you can come back, inhale, lengthen again, and then continue to walk. Eventually, whenever you reach your limit, you can begin to round down. Let the upper body come down towards your pillows or your block. And we're eventually just going to allow the crown of the head to rest down here. Let that upper body round. We're getting a nice deep stretch into the hips here as well. As well as opening the spine here. Just going to stay here for a little while with the breath. Just trying to slow everything down now. It's maybe a good moment here to increase the breath flow. So if you'd like to count to a count of 6 or 7 with the breath for the inhale and exhaling for the same amount, you could try that here as well. Otherwise, just staying with your natural breath, allowing yourself to open a bit deeper. You may find after a few breaths, maybe you want to remove your block or your pillow to come down a bit deeper here. So feeling free to do that if that's what suits you. Stay here for another 5 breaths. Maybe going that bit deeper now. Maybe staying where you are. You're ready, we'll begin to unravel here. So pressing into the hands, begin to unwind the spine here, little by little, coming all the way back up here. Just take a moment here to take a full inhale and a full exhale through the nose. And we'll just make our way onto our backs here. So just finding your own time, maybe to swivel around, coming back down onto our back here, rolling down. We'll just take our final pose here in Happy Baby. So just bring those knees out to the side, squeezing them in, and allowing the soles of the feet to come up towards the ceiling here. You can take the hands to the back of the knees here. Maybe you want to clasp the two fingertips around the big toe here and begin to pull down with the feet here. Or maybe just holding onto the back of the calf either. Just finding your position. And just taking a rock from side to side here for a few breaths. Slowly just allowing the hands to come away from the feet now. Allow the soles of the feet to come down. And feeling free maybe to place a pillow underneath the knees or a pillow underneath the head, maybe for your Savasana now. We'll just allow the legs to go nice and long. We'll let the soles of the feet go out nice and wide here. Let them flop out to the side. And let the palms of the hands just open here as well. Let them come away from the body here. The eyes closed if they're not already. Just begin to take your complete focus inside of you. This is a moment of stillness just for you. This is a moment to just let go completely of any attachments here. To arrive completely just in this moment here. Just relaxing down your forehead here. Relax the back of the ears, back of the neck. Allow the shoulders to become heavy here. Softening down your collarbones here. Soften your rib cage. Let the hips become heavy here. Legs become heavy. Let your feet just rest open here. Just allow the entire body to become quiet here. Allow yourself to rest in the earth here. There's nowhere for you to be right now. Nothing for you to do right now. This is a quiet space that exists always inside of you. You can access at any time. Just allowing yourself to be here now. Friends. It's a quiet space. It's peaceful and restful. And even you need to stay here longer, I invite you now to just stay here as long as you need to rest in this space for you. If you're ready to increase your breath, just deepening your breath now a little bit more. Beginning to become aware of your surroundings again, maybe hearing some noises, maybe feeling sensations again, maybe opening the eyes gently, having a little wiggle with the fingertips or the toes here, and taking those hands up overhead now, pointing your toes, reaching your fingertips nice and overhead now, full body stretch here. And let the hands come back down. Just remove your pillow or your block now out to the sides. And just roll over onto your side now, into your fetus position. Just take a moment here to maybe give yourself a little hug. Be grateful that you showed up for today's practice. And be grateful for everybody that you're sharing this practice with. Come up to a seated position now, just pressing into the mat. And we'll meet in easy pose here. We'll bring our hands over our third eye for spiritual awareness, our hands over our lips to speak our truth, and our hands over our heart space to give and receive love. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and your week, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.